Hi, everybody. My name is Cody Ryberg. I'm the Senior Study Abroad Advisor for Wake Forest semester programs, and we're joined by Kristen Hickey and Ryan Lorenz from the Barcelona team. And I will let them do their introductions and give the information presentation. Like I said, afterwards, we'll have time for questions as well. So Kristen and Ryan, why don't you take away?
Hi, everyone. Nice to see you here virtually today. This is our team. As you can see on the slide, I'm Kristen, the program manager. I've been in Barcelona for 15 years and been helping run the Wake program since its inception in 2015. So as you can see, we have a large team. Ryan's with us today, and then the other 4 smiling faces that you see there, they're not with us today, but they're here in Barcelona as well. So you'll have the chance to meet them when you get on site in the spring. We have Julia, who's our student welfare and health and safety coordinator. And then down below her, we have Elena, who's been here actually the longest on our team. She's the cultural activities coordinator. Then there's Jaime in charge of housing. And then our newest member of the team is Rachel, and she's our diversity and inclusion officer. So that's our team. Cody, you can go to the next slide, please. So Barcelona, as I said, I've been living here for 15 years, and Barcelona is just one of, for me, the most interesting cities in the world. And I've traveled a bit. I did my study abroad in the south of Spain, and it's really interesting to me to see how different all of Spain is. So where I studied in the south, Madrid, the capital, and then Barcelona, they're all so different. So it's a really nice place to live because you can get a little bit of everything. The culture is really lovely, and the weather is really nice in Barcelona. You're on the sea, so you can have most of the year you have pretty good weather, sun, and not too much rain. And in Barcelona particularly, we have a lot of the examples of Gaudi architecture, such as the Sagrada Familia or the Casa Batlló. You've probably heard about all of these places. And it's just a really interesting hub as well, because you can travel to many other places from here. So, and of course, our world-class football team, Barça. So yeah, we usually do an activity where we take students to Barça. I'm not sure if that's going to be possible this time around, but we're hopeful for that. So next slide, Cody. The courses. So Wake Forest partners with the University Autónoma in Barcelona, and students can take courses taught in both English and Spanish. So if you don't have Spanish as a language, that's fine, because you can take a lot of your courses in English. You can take all of your courses in English as well. The Wake Forest core courses are offered to the business students, but then you can find courses in many other fields, such as business, economics and politics, art and history, Mediterranean studies, communication. The classes are taught in the city center. So that's really convenient because you'll live usually within 20 or 30 minutes from your classes, or maybe even sometimes within walking distance, 10 minutes or so. So that's really nice. The UAB has a main campus out of the city center, which is about 30 minutes by train, but you wouldn't be taking classes there. You'd be taking classes right in the city center. Another nice thing about UAB classes is that they're only held from Monday to Thursday, so you can take long weekends to travel. So that's one of the popular things about this program with our students. And lastly, there's a really diverse faculty with teachers, professors from all over the world. So it's very enriching to participate in this program. Activities and excursions. So that's the fun bit, right? You come to study abroad and take classes, but we also like to plan some fun in there. Some of our activities and excursions would include welcome and farewell parties. We do a lot of visits and guided walks where, for example, we might visit a city in Catalonia called Girona, and we would take a guided walking tour of there so we could learn about the history and architecture of the city. Then we might visit a museum around there. For example, the Salvador Dali Museum, which is in Figueres, which is very near to Girona. And then we would spend the night, for example, and have a lunch the next day, and then head back to Barcelona. We usually do trips within distance that we can take a bus. So that's great for time and yeah. We also do a lot of group meals. These are examples of activities, and they can change semester to semester. So, these are some of the recent ones that we've done, but we might do something different next spring, depending on also COVID guidelines, where we would have to social distance. For example, I mentioned before the Barca activity. As of right now, they're not having live audiences, but we'll see. But that's something that we usually do. Or we would do a cooking workshop, which is very popular with our students. So we would all get together and learn how to cook some typical Spanish dishes like paella or gazpacho or something like that. Again, we'll have to see which activities we can do or not do this next term, but those are some examples. So next slide, Cody.
Right. Kristen, do you want to talk a little bit about housing options real quick? Kind of what the apartments.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so our housing options in a typical term would be apartments, which is what 99.9% of our students choose. And there you would live with other students on the program. They're usually 4 students to an apartment, more or less. Sometimes more, but usually around 4. And you would have your own kitchen, obviously bathroom, and they're all located in buildings with either local residents, sometimes other students, but typically you're mixed with local residents in Barcelona, and they're all in the city center. So again, like I said before, they're all within, let's say, 20 to 30 minutes from your classes. In a normal year, we would also offer homestays and residences. And we're still pending on what's going to happen in the spring about those 2 options. But like I said, most students choose apartments. So that's the option that we usually offer the most.
All right, thanks. So just some application requirements. If you haven't already started an application, you can go to the Study Abroad website and start the application there. There are some questionnaires you'll need to complete, some signature documents you'll need to sign. If you're looking at spring 21, so next semester, the deadline for that is the 25th of this week. If you have concerns about that application deadline, send me an email, and we can talk about that and meet to discuss any questions you might have about that. If you're looking at the Fall 21 program, the priority deadline is January 15th. So what that means is if you've completed your application by the 15th of January, then we will review your application before at that point and get a decision back to you in about 2 weeks. Then you'll have a couple weeks to make your decision for the program. If you don't apply by the 15th, then you have until March 1st to complete your application, and then it'll be based on how many spots are available. The spring and fall deadlines are the same for every semester. So if you're looking at spring 22, it'll be September 25th of next year. If you're looking at fall 22, it'll be January 15th. So the dates stay the same for every semester that we're looking at. If there's anything that's changed to that, then you'll get information from the office here on campus. And then if you are accepted and you do decide to go on the program, you will have to pay a deposit and submit an intent to participate form in order to secure your spot on the program. If you want to talk to me about the deposit before you're accepted, after you're accepted, I'm free to do that and willing to meet with you to discuss that as well. And then something you're probably really concerned about is the program cost. Since this is a Wake Forest program, it is going to be the same cost as attending Wake for the semester. So it covers everything that's on there. And we do have a travel scholarship of $1,200 to help offset the cost of round trip airfare. That doesn't mean that we will pay for the flight for you. You would have to book the flight and then you'll get reimbursed. I can talk in more detail about that in an advising appointment with you. Some of the items listed below that are not included in the program cost that you, the student, are responsible for would be the visa fees if applicable, meals, airfare, any extra travel that is not part of the program provided excursions. So the Barcelona football match, the day trips are going to be included. If you want to go to somewhere else on your own, if you want to go to Madrid on your own, then you would have to be paying for your transportation and lodging at that point. For future semesters, if you do a homestay option, then there is an additional fee for meals. If you choose to do the apartments and the residences, there is no meal plan, so you are responsible for purchasing and cooking your own meals in your housing at that point. Ryan or Kristen, do you have anything else you'd like to add before we go on to the video?
No.
Okay.
About the video before he plays it, is that it's something that we made in-house. So these are some of our past students, and I think it was Jaime and Julia, Kristen, who made the video.
That's right, Jaime and Julia.
Jaime and Julia went out with a set of students and just filmed typical things that showcased Barcelona, and then set it to a soundtrack. So this is not, you know, some professional thing. This is our own in-house thing that we like very much. So we wanted to share it with you and see if it gets you excited.
Okay. And can everybody hear that?
I was scared of dentists and the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. All my friends are turning green. Yeah, the magician's assistant in their dream. And they come unstuck. Running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. Here's this movie that I think you like. This guy decides to quit his job and head to New York City. This cowboy's running from himself. She's been living on the highest shelf. And they come unstuck. Lady, running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. I just wanna know if you're gonna stay. I just gotta know. I can't have it any other way. I swear she's destined for the screen. Closest thing to Michelle Pfeiffer that you've ever seen. Oh.
Yeah, I guess what I would add is that you can see how beautiful the city is. I mean, I've been living there for 12 years, and I see something catches my eye every day. So just the visual is incredible, and a semester don't do it justice. You'll come back because it's just an absolute beautiful environment in which to live.
Yeah, it is a very wonderful city. I've been there a couple of times with the program to be there for orientation. It's a wonderful time. I do enjoy going there every semester that I get the chance to, and it is a very unique, very fun city to visit. And I'm very jealous of everybody that gets the chance to study there for the semester and to live there as well. So that is all we have for the presentation. Does anybody have any questions that you'd like to ask right now? Yeah, so a question came up about choosing between Spanish and Catalan. So yes, students do have the option to choose between taking Spanish or Catalan. If you have not taken any Spanish here at Wake, you can take the equivalent of what would be, I think it's 112. You can take, I believe, 195, and you can also take 303. There is unfortunately no 212 equivalent here, so you would still have to come back to Wake and take that 212 requirement. If you haven't taken Spanish, you can also take Catalan. If you've taken other languages, you can do Catalan or Spanish. It is up to you. So if you'd like to talk about that in more detail, we can do it in an advising appointment. And if something happens abruptly in January, no longer apply to spring 21. If something does happen and spring 21 is not able to run, we would discuss the option of deferring students to the next semester, so you would not have to fully reapply. Those requirements might change though, but if we do end up needing to cancel or delay the programs, you would get a lot of information in email from either myself or one of the directors from Center for Global Programs and Studies.
Yeah, and I guess I would say too that just like your home campus, we take COVID very seriously. In Barcelona, just like in where you're from and where you're on campus now, you know, we have to take precautions. We're wearing masks, social distancing, not going to nightclubs and things. So we're adapting to COVID just like you guys are in the States, and constantly monitoring it and preparing for it and thinking how we deal with it in the housing, in the classroom. Everything is in order. But yeah, I mean, I have no problem saying quite openly, we don't know what January will look like. We're, you know, that's a good question because, you know, we can't read the future.
Yeah, and we are assessing the situation here in the US and abroad, and we will make a decision on the program in late October at the earliest, and sometime in November, mid-November at the latest, to help you with registration on campus if needed. So we will be in contact with you about that. If something abrupt happens and there's something before then we will let you know. Classes are a mix with the students on the Wake from Wake. If you are a School of Business student and you take one of the core courses, so BEM 211, 221, or 241, then those classes are only open to the Wake students. So you would be taking classes with just Wake students in those courses. If you're taking any other class at UAB, so the Spanish, the Catalan, any of the other businesses, politics, econ, you would be with other students from around the world and other Wake students. You will not be with the traditional Spanish students at UAB, since their campus is a little bit farther away from where you're at, and their classes are all in Spanish. So if you are wanting to meet other Spanish students, you could join some clubs and activities, reach out to Kristen or Ryan to figure out how to meet other students. But the core business classes are going to be with Wake students. All the other classes are going to be a mix of other students from around the world. Ryan and Kristen, do you have anything to add?
Just to say that's a good thing, because I assume everyone's coming for difference, do something different, not just hang out with the same people as they do at home campus. So having the chance to meet other non-Spanish foreigners in your classes, as well as Spanish people through the many suggestions my team can give you, is, you know, a good thing, I think. So welcome.
And for the business students, in addition to meeting with me, you should also reach out to your school business advisor just to make sure, depending on your specific concentration within the School of Business, how classes are going to work for you when you go abroad and when you come back. And you might need to modify your schedule before you go abroad and everything. If you haven't done so already, reach out to them. Okay.
Great.
All right. Well, that is all that we've got for today's presentation. If you would like to set up time to meet with me, see the email that I sent with the Zoom information link, and there's a information appointment request form that you can fill out in my signature in the email and schedule time to meet with me. Or you can call the Study Abroad office at 336-758-5938 to set that up. So if you have other questions, feel free to let me know, okay?